Are you a claimant in a California workers' compensation case in which you've received a QME report that doesn't help you out? Hi friends, once again, Ruben Espinoza today with several recommendations for what to do if you've received a negative QME report. The first recommendation I have for you is making sure to go through carefully all of the details of the report to identify what records the QME relied upon, how did the QME analyze the case, to uncover any inconsistencies or errors in reasoning or gaps in which the QME failed to perform their analytical duties in your case. If you can find those errors, if you can find those gaps, there are ways to challenge the report. The other type of error is inconsistencies in procedural requirements. For example, the QME has to issue the report within 30 days after you've seen or have sat down for evaluation. If the QME does not issue the report during that time, there is a way to have the report, and actually the QME, stricken or replaced in your case. The other type of procedural error that is common is for QMEs to fail to mention certain procedural requirements, such as indicating how much face-to-face time they spent with you, or who was involved in preparing the report. For example, they may have a physician's assistant take information, take measurements from you. If they don't mention who was involved, again, those could be reasons to get the QME report tossed or the QME replaced. The second way to challenge a QME's opinion is to get other doctors to give you contradicting opinions or contrasting opinions regarding your case. For example, a PTP can review the QME's findings and give you different opinions and explain why, from a medical expert standpoint, the QME made a mistake. Another QME that's assigned in your case, for example, in a different specialty, or for example, in a different subsequent injury. A lot of times it's common to have a specific date of injury and a QME assigned for that case, and a cumulative trauma injury and a QME assigned in that other case. And sometimes it's helpful to get one doctor to opine on the opinions of another. That type of reporting can uncover deficiencies in the bad QME's reporting as well. The third thing you can do is to challenge the QME directly. This would be either by way of a deposition, where your attorney schedules the deposition of the QME to challenge them in person or through a Zoom call about their reporting, about their findings. Sometimes when a QME is put on the spot, a lot of times they will soften some of their opinions. The other way to do that is by issuing a supplemental report request. This would be basically a request for additional reporting made in writing, maybe pointing out certain errors or certain deficiencies to the QME. One of the advantages of doing that is that if the QME fails to respond within a certain amount of time to that supplemental report request, or similarly, if the QME does not make himself or herself available for deposition, those are grounds to get the QME replaced as well. The last recommendation I have for you today is to uncover any evidence of bias in the QME's exam and reporting. These could be things like the QME making certain comments to you during the examination. And certainly it's a good idea, if you don't know or if your attorney does not trust who the QME is in your case, to audio record the examination. That is a right that every claimant has in California, to audio record the QME exam. So if there's any reason to suspect that the QME might not be fair to you, it's a good idea to audio record the exam. If the QME did not agree to have you audio record the exam, that would be a reason to replace the QME as well. The other thing is, if in the reporting you get evidence that the QME was biased against you, there may be grounds to report the QME to the state for ethical violations and potentially have the QME replaced. I had one case where the QME basically called my client a fraud, didn't do his due diligence as a physician, failed to include any medical diagnosis in his report. We reported that QME to the state medical unit office. That QME got reprimanded, and eventually we got that QME tossed from our case, which really helped us out. So there you go, friends. A few recommendations for you. If you end up with a negative QME report, doesn't mean that the case is lost. There's still hope, okay? Any questions, call us 213-228-3232, also for a free consultation, okay? Take care.